Alright, so here we go. This is going to be a little crash course on how to make stoplight cutout for the laser. So make a new document called stoplight cutout stuff for the laser. And you can just use an 8x8 workspace. It'll give you plenty of room. And you want to start out with some circles. And these need to be the same size as the LEDs so that we can put the LEDs in there. These are 5mm LEDs. So measure them with a calipers to get really close measurement. But really, you can kind of go along with the numbers that I have listed here in the video. Okay, and then you're going to need 3 of those. So you're going to want to make sure you have the Align and Distribute tool open, which is Control-Shift-A, so that you can center these things. Okay, and when you're drawing these circles, to make them circles and not ellipses, you can hold down the Control key. Okay, so right now I'm just selecting these, I'm centering them, and then I'm going to space them horizontally from each other for about 1 inch apart. Okay, and that gives you pretty good space in between the lights. Okay, then I'm going to take a box, and this is the simple version. We just take a box, we center it. Okay, and I'm going to make a copy of it here and show you a little bit more of a challenging way to do this, but still totally doable. So all I'm doing here is I'm just drawing another circle around the center hole that the LED is going to go in, and then I'm just going to take that circle and duplicate it and line it up in the center. And then I'm going to use this virtual segment delete tool to get rid of the overlapping lines. So when we overlap lines with the laser, it cuts everything out. We obviously don't want it to cut out that many circles. Okay, but this is just another way you can do it. You could make it a triangle with 3 holes in the middle, however you want to do it. Okay, now I'm just adding a little neck here. Okay, and then again, I'm gonna grab all this stuff and center line it up. Okay, and then same thing here, I'm going to get rid of those overlapping areas. And to do that, I'm just going to kind of overlap them and then segment delete, because we just want a border of this being cut out. Okay, and then I'm going to put this little base on, and this is so that we can get it to stand up. And eventually, after we cut this out on a flat sheet of acrylic, we are going to bend it so that it has its own stand. So that's all that's going to do. Again, I'm just centering stuff. Centering makes it look good, and it's good practice. Okay, and then I'm just deleting the parts that I don't need for the outline border. Okay, so here's 2 examples. Take your time, make these work the way that you want them to, and then when you're all done, you're going to give it a border that's red. So you're going to right-click the border to make it red, and then double check, make sure it's hairline. You should be able to adjust that in the top toolbar or down there in the bottom corner. Okay, now I'm just drawing out the little arm for the kind of railroad crossing thing that we built with the servo, and this is literally just a piece that we're going to glue to the servo. I'm put a couple little cross lines in through here. Having troubles with my mouse. I think the battery's dying, so the clicker's not working the greatest right now. But I'm just going to put these little cross hatches on there, kind of like how the ones on the railroad are, right? They alternate red, white, red, white. Okay, and then same thing with this one. I'm just duplicating these out now so I don't have to redraw them each time. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim that end off. Okay, and then this border needs to be red. Okay, this is a cutout line, so same thing. You're going to select that outer border. Okay, and right here I'm just giving you a frame of reference. These are about 3 inches tall, and the sideways bar is also about 3 inches. Okay, so the last step here, I'm going to click this outline, make it red, make it a hairline, and then if you want to, when we cut on the laser, if you use black as a fill color, you can etch the inside of that, so we can add a little like frosted look to these clear acrylic pieces. and you can make the alternating lines that way. Okay, so give this your best shot. Make sure at the end of each day that you're working on this that you save your work. And good luck.